Hello, this is another edition of Colorwind Plays, and this time we're going to take a look at Sonic 3D Blast for the Sega Saturn. This is going to be kicking off a week of videos of nothing but Sega Saturn games because I am a big fan of the Sega Saturn. I think it's grossly underrated, and I just love everything about this console. The way it's built, the way the controller feels, the games that were released on the console, both in America and Japan. And I cannot say enough good things about the Sega Saturn. Now, I understand its faults and, basically the reasons why it wasn't successful, but I still love it because it had great games that just weren't really what the public wanted at the time with the Sony PlayStation and the Nintendo 64 out. So we're looking at Sonic 3D Blast, the Sega Saturn version, which is fairly improved over the Genesis version. And there's a lot of differences. The game does look better. It has a completely different soundtrack, and it even features a completely revised special stage from how you collect Chaos Emeralds. Also has that little overview map. And let's dive right into Sonic 3D Blast on the Sega Saturn. I would say that this is probably my go-to version of this game. Although there is nothing wrong with the Genesis version. That's a great version as well. And it also has a great soundtrack. But this has this cool kind of jazzy kind of soundtrack that I enjoy, and just kind of it's a very typical of video game soundtracks during the mid '90s. So I enjoy it very much. And as you can see, the game remains fairly unchanged from the Genesis version. The main difference is the graphics. They're much improved, as well as the soundtrack. It's different. And let's take a look at that special stage I was telling you about. Another change with the special stage is you enter them by collecting 50 rings and then finding Knuckles or Tails, and then you can do that for each stage. So you could, before, collect 2 emeralds in one act of a stage. Not so here. They're restricted to you can only get 1 per act, and if you do it again, like if I were to go find 50 rings again and go talk to Tails, instead of a Chaos Emerald at the end, because it would still be this exact same stage. Instead of finding a Chaos Emerald, I would find a 1-up. Which is fine, but yeah, you cannot collect all the Chaos Emeralds by the second stage anymore. This one is also harder. This first one is easy because it's the first stage, just so you get the hang of things. Whereas in the Genesis version, it is beyond easy to the point that it's not really that much fun because it's so easy. You could hit everything in a stage and still have enough rings to do it. This one is more difficult. It also features different planes. You also have the ability to spin dash, and when going down a hill like that, you gain speed. You have these speed things. What this special stage actually reminds me of is the special stage in Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2, which actually came out after this game, so I would guess that that game took its inspiration from this game. So that's interesting. One fault I can say that I have with this game is the load times. They are quite long. Way too long, as a matter of fact. That is a fault. That is something you are going to have to deal with. But in return, you do get a gorgeous game, a wonderful soundtrack, and the superior version of the game. The PC version, which was released a little bit after this one, is based on this version of the game. and is comparable to it, except that they changed the special stage again. And unfortunately, not for the better. This version of the game still has the best special stage. If you own a Sega Saturn, this is a must-have for your collection, because it's the only Sonic adventure type of game you get. There is Sonic Jam, which is a collection of the first 3 Sonic games for the Sega Genesis, with no Sonic and Knuckles, I believe, which is odd and disappointing. And then there's also Sonic R, which is a racing game, but for a completely brand new Sonic adventure on the Sega Saturn, you have to go with this one. It's not bad. I like Sonic 3D Blast. I am a big Sonic fan. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was the first game I ever played. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's one of the best ones, but it's fun. I like it. It's fun for what it is. It's true that it completely ignores what made Sonic fun, which is speed. That is true, but for what it is fun. And it's really good. It is really well made, as a matter of fact. Controls are a little wonky, but yeah, still a good game. And this is the ultimate version of it. So, collecting flickies, that's what those little birds are. Collecting coins, rings. Collecting rings, because I can. I'm not going to go for tails, because there's no point to now. There we go. Got that little guy. Just about got them all in this area. Two more, and I get extra life. There we go. There's all the flickies, and we're done in here. Alright. Act 1 complete. Next act. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to try to get another emerald. I just wanted to show you what the special stage looked like. It does resemble the special stage in Sonic 2, if you think about it. Which I like. I like that special stage. It's probably, I think, the best one that's been created for the Sonic games. Oh no. Should have gotten that ahead of time. I've always wondered why Sega has never put this on a compilation as opposed to the Genesis version. Or at least both. I mean, Altered Beast got both of its versions put on the Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection. So, that's a bit peculiar. Because there's nothing wrong with this version. Matter of fact, it's real nice. As a matter of fact, now a lot of people know this, but I believe this is one of the first jobs. Richard Jacques, however you pronounce his name, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. But Richard Jacques, who did the soundtrack for, most notably, I think, Jet Set Radio. This was his first job with Sega. This soundtrack for Sonic 3D Blast on the Sega Saturn. And he did an awesome job. This is great. I love this music. I mean, I have this soundtrack, this specific one. Well, I also have the Genesis one, but this specific version, the Sega Saturn version, I have the soundtrack on my iTunes. I will listen to this. Love it. It's even got one of those corny ending songs for the credits, like a ballad sung by a female vocalist. Yeah, totally has that. You're my hero. That's what it's called. You're my hero. You came and rescued me. And now you set me free. There's so much that I wanted you to see. Yes, I just sang. Get over it. Alright, going along here at a quick pace. I still need two more. There's one. Where is the other one? Where are you? Now, where is the other one? Like, seriously, I'm kind of stumped now. Back there? I thought only Tails was back here. Yeah, Tails is the one who goes back there, so... There you are. I got you. You know, I bet they could make this game a lot better than this nowadays. Because an actual 3D Sonic does exist. And you can make it fast because they know how to do that now in 3D. With you just collecting flickies. You know, make it a downloadable title. I'd be cool with that. You know, Sonic 3 Blast 2 or... just Sonic Blast 2. You know, you can take out the 3D since it's not really a gimmick anymore. That is the standard. Let's see, it should be one right there. There we go. Got it. Done. Boss fight. I should mention that if you do end up liking what you see and would like to pick up this game, Sonic 3D Blast on the Sega Saturn is pretty cheap. It's just about as cheap as the Genesis version. You can find it $5-10. If you start looking for the case, then it's going to go up to like 20 or 25 bucks. But just the game itself, it's cheap. You're fine. Robotnik. And it's Robotnik, not Eggman. I don't care if even that was his real name in Japan. I missed. Go ahead, try to pick up your little thing. Got you. Laughter. Got you. I can keep this up all day, man. Come on. Got him. And I think with that, that will conclude this Colorwind Plays of Sonic 3D Blast for the Sega Saturn. One of the great titles for the Sega Saturn. I highly recommend you pick it up. And with that, I will catch you all later. Take it easy.